side, how do you prepare your guys to tackle better? How do you make sure what you prepare for outside to the
Well,
games?
we work our vandal tackle circuit. We do that on Sunday anytime we've got shoulder pads on, and it's a pre-practice routine for us. We have station work, 4 stations. Each position coach has got a station, and by position we rotate them through, and it's not full speed, obviously. 12 weeks is a long time, and that type of deal, but we're just primarily working technique.
Have you seen the technique translate to the game?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and that type of deal. But it's speed. It's just your eyes, you're tracking their hip, that type of deal, and you try to embed those type of techniques into the kids. So when they are at full speed, they rely on their technique.
Are you ever more inclined to do more live work during game week just to get them in that situation?
I think sometimes we do on Sunday and that type of deal, but you have to be careful and with your numbers and things like that. And you just got to be real careful. I'm more into just the technique type of thing, but I see your point, and there's thoughts both ways on that. But I'd hate to lose somebody, in a practice scenario.
Has the tackling been maybe the number one issue in terms of stopping the run?
Well, I think that's part of it in terms of, quote, stopping the run. I think gap fits is another thing. We've got to be solid on our gap fits. Make sure you do your job, that type of thing. And so it's a combination of both.
What was the difference between the first and second half of that Georgia Southern game? I guess you kind of mentioned with assignments.
Yeah, that's good. We watch the film and we gave up field goals in the red zones instead of touchdowns. I think that's one of the major things. But I think the explosive plays, the one-play type deals, that we went into the game wanting Georgia Southern to pitch the ball. We want to take the quarterback out of it, and we got that. And we got to do a better job rallying to the pitch, getting off blocks, and that type of thing. The best we can do is get one-on-one. You can't get two-on-one, three-on-one, and that type of deal. And then again, go back to your technique.
What's kind of the advantage you guys think you guys have this week going against Arkansas State's attack?
Well, just from watching film, it's a total different offensive philosophy. But they played some big games. They played USC, Missouri at home. Last week they came back from Toledo. Beat up on offense a little bit, I think, from a physical point. But they've got a tremendous running back. They've got 3 receivers that we've got to do a job on. And they're playing a backup quarterback who has played the last 2 games and had a quarter of the Missouri game. But he spins the ball very, very good. His percentage is in the high 60s. Doesn't run the ball as well as the other starter, but we just got to worry about our situation in terms of gap protection, in terms of the run game, and then when the ball's in the air, get some takeaways. They've thrown 8 interceptions, and I think they've lost 5 fumbles. So they put the ball on the ground. We've got to take advantage of that.
With the passing attack, do you kind of look forward to Quentin Bradley maybe getting upfield, getting some sacks?
Yeah, we've got to plan with Quentin. He's our most productive defensive lineman. Looked at the game last year, Idaho against Arkansas State, and was very productive. And we've got a plan for Quentin and move him around, that type of thing, and hopefully has a fun day.
What sets Quentin that is apart from the other linemen?
Well, I think he's got great football one-on-one skills, understands the game. He's got he's a powerful first step and can get you off balance and that type of deal. And he's got those meat hooks and very, very strong. And he gets a hold of you, you're going down.
You guys were looking at tape on USC a few weeks ago. Does it help when you can kind of double up on the tape and see 2 opponents on the same film?
I think you see what they did, what their philosophy was against USC's defense, and that type of deal. And granted, it was the first game of the year and that type of thing, but also I'm looking at a different quarterback too. You know what I'm saying? Where the kid that we're going to see has pretty much played the last 2 games.
Coach Petrino talked about maybe a lack of depth at some spots, and certainly on defense, you guys have faced some injuries. What do you need to do to get some of the other guys up to speed so you guys aren't missing beats places?
No, that's football. It's bumps and bruises and things like that, and you get the next guy ready, and the other two, the other three, and then you get your reps in practice.
You're going to do more shuffling as safety. What are you seeing there from those guys?
Well, kind of going back to what I don't have a lot of bodies back there, and we've got to get guys rest. It's especially at a position, more so in the defensive line when you're banging every play, where the corners aren't necessarily the safeties either. But we've got to be able to get guys out for a break, that type of deal. And we're also involved in special teams too. A lot of our guys on defense. So when you add those plays up too, it's a lot of plays. So we got to do the best job we can to try to, kind of what you're talking about, is get a break when we can get a break.
They have a receiver who's kind of been an all-conference guy for a few years and is pretty good on special teams as well.
Yeah, he had a touchdown. We just watched it in there, kickoff return against Toledo. By far their leading receiver. He's a slot receiver. They motion him. They'll hand the ball to him. They're going to get the rock to him any which way they can. Gadget plays, very explosive, and we got to know where he's at. So he's got long hair. It sticks out of his helmet, so we should be able to see him.
You said, not being able to throw a lot of guys at safety because of injuries, but does it help that Jordan and Armand had 10 solo tackles each on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that's the option style. Yeah. Jordan Grafsky's really come along with his tackling. Had a real good game, especially the second half. And Armand's, coming along. Didn't have a lot of camp, kind of was because of injuries and things like that, but he's come along and is learning the defense and playing more aggressive. So I've been real happy with both of them.
You seen those guys on the back end more confident this week after seeing one of the guys finally get a pick?
Yeah. I mean, that was a heck of a play by Dorian. He was in man coverage. It was we call it a freebie play. They tried to draw us off sides. We didn't. We got back, and that's their MO. They take a shot. And Dorian just stayed in coverage and played his man-to-man technique very, very well. And I don't know how he got the foot in, but he did. And our offense started a 16-play drive, I believe. Got down to the 1. And we got 3 points out of it, but it's a momentum-changing play. It's a heck of a play.
Good? Thanks, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks,